Hello, everyone. Today on Binky's Thoughts, I want to talk about my thoughts on Mike Laidlaw leaving and leaving Bioware and what I think this means for the future of the franchise. So, ultimately, the way I understood it was that this didn't come lightly and that there was a lot of planning. He didn't just decide, well, just leaving and just up and left. I think that there was a lot of planning that came into this, and it's actually quite possible that he hasn't actually been involved or at all in the preparations or planning of Dragon Age 4, but it's possible that he was minimally. I think that for such a massive decision, because he is the creator technically of the Dragon Age franchise, and he's been there since its origins. So I think there was a transition period, and he might have given the mantle to someone else to take over and ensured that this transition was smooth. And in that case, if that's the case, then he would have ensured that everything was in place before he left. And there are some key people who have been there since the start who are still there, who might have just gotten promoted and stuff. So, and I mean, if this is what he needs, then this is what he needs, right? So, the other thought I had was, because if it's not something that was done smoothly, it's just the feel that I get from everything that's been going on in news around that. So ultimately, it's possible that things will remain unchanged, that we won't notice this change of him not being there anymore. It's also possible that given the new direction that it's going to have, maybe it's going to be even better. Who knows? And then there's the possibility that we all fear is that it becomes something between Fable and Mass Effect Andromeda, where Fable, Peter Molyneux acknowledges that he kind of, and I mean, this isn't Bioware, but Peter Molyneux acknowledges that there was too many hundreds of years between the first and the second game, and and then plus other factors, which kind of made the game go like, but, the game, ultimately, there was so much more that could be done with it. The story wasn't finished, but the franchise ended before it could be finished. And I still have theories that Black Ooze is Jack of Blades and that he never really died even as a dragon. So whatever. Insert Lionhead Studios segment. And then the other possibility on the on the failure spectrum, I guess, would be that it would become another Mass Effect Andromeda. Now there's rumors about this and that and whatnot of the reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But Mass Effect Andromeda, ultimately, the graphics weren't good. The script my face is tired. It wasn't what it was hyped up to be. And everyone was super disappointed. So that's the fear, obviously. But Mass Effect is very different to Dragon Age. Different people. And I don't think Dragon Age 4 I don't know if it's in the middle of its development, but I have a feeling that there's been a transition and that Mike Laidlaw is just, and then slowly backing away and taking a smaller and smaller role. And yes, I'm literally backing it. I probably think so. So I just think that there was some sort of smooth transition, or so I hope. But that's just the feel that I get from it. And I mean, what can we do if we're worried? Well, yes, contacting BioWare or on the forums or giving feedback and our thoughts and opinions is always a good idea, diplomatically, politely. I know a lot of people are upset about it, but it's something that's out of our control. if I focus on the worry or fearful aspect of this and just let my emotions get the better of me, I could get upset about this just like anyone else. I could say, this is outrageous, this is unacceptable, Dragon Age is dead, It's not. I don't think I just, maybe it's the Cassandra in me, the optimist in me, but I just have some sort of feeling that it's in good hands. And I just have this, I don't know if it's a premonition, but just, I think that everything's going to be okay. And Bioware knows that some of us really want to save Solus. Some of you really want to kill Solus. I think Bioware has all that in mind. I think, yes, some of you might argue, yeah, but with Andromeda, and then it flopped. And, there are arguments to go on many sides. So what I'd suggest is going in the forums or finding a way to contact Bioware nicely, politely, voicing concerns. I highly doubt that Bioware would ever end up on one of my videos, but if Bioware ends up on this video, perchance, I would suggest that similarly as what Bioware started doing with Star Wars The Old Republic is start showing talking about the upcoming plans, so letting us know what's in store for the future of Dragon Age, or at worst just reassuring us and answering a few of our questions. We don't need much, I don't need much. And as for Mike Laidlaw, well, I wish him all the best, if this is what he needs, then this is what he needs. And this is what he needs. And obviously, he planned this, he gave this a lot of thought, and I really think there was a transition. So, it's sad, but it's something I can understand. It's something that I respect. He's been there for, 14, 15 years? That's a long time. That's a pretty long time. He probably didn't know at Origins the massiveness that Dragon Age, the franchise, would become. And maybe his goal was never to see the game all the way to its end, And maybe he gave that role to someone else who will see the game to its end, a good end. And where we save Solus. And that's Binky approved. That's Rosie approved, because technically Rosie's the one who approves things. But, if this is what he needs, then I wish him all the best. And we just need to hope for the best, not worry because this change is massive and it can be scary. But, and I know some of you don't want to trust in Bioware. I don't know if any of you watching, any of you who are subscribed to me are of that perspective. But there are people who don't want to trust Bioware. But I'm just going to trust Bioware. And because that's all I can do. This is out of my control. So, Bioware, if you're watching, saying Solus. And, yeah. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about it. Last week I spoke about my what I thought was proof that Dragon Age 4 is happening, and what I think about the standalone and the retribution thing. So I think this might play a part in those plans. Hopefully, if the game isn't ready, hopefully, I prefer the game be delayed than imperfect, I don't think we're going to see an Andromeda for Dragon Age 4. I don't think we're going to see that. But that's just my opinion. That's just speculation. let me know your thoughts. Let me know on what side of the spectrum you guys find yourself on. Are you hopeful? Are you in the middle? Are you upset about this? You know, and let me know what you think. And I'm pretty sure more will come to light. You know, Bioware will share more, and hopefully they can be a bit more transparent with us, like they've been for Star Wars: The Old Republic, and just showing, say, okay, upcoming, we've got this plan. These are the things kind of going to be happening, and hopefully everything works out. Hopefully this means the game is going to be what it was meant to be. So, yeah. And anyway, I'll talk to you all soon. Masaranas. Be sure to check out some of my other stuff, and remember to buy video games at a discounted price and support me at no additional cost to you. Just follow my G2A affiliate link. You can also join in on the fun on Patreon for some exclusive content. Thanks for tuning in.